Hey guys, it's Kristen. For the library assignment, I have done Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. It's a graphic novel that is a fantasy comic. It started off as a webcomic in June of 2012 and was eventually picked up by HarperCollins, where it was published as a graphic novel in 2015. Stevenson didn't use a creative team on this. She did it all strictly herself. It actually doubled as her senior thesis in college. It's 272 pages long, and there's 11 chapters. 10 of them is the main story, and chapter 11 is the epilogue. The story fits in the 3-act structure, and it's not obvious where they end or begin, but from reading it, I think I narrowed it down that the story structure is Act 1, Chapter 1 through 3, Act 2 is 4 through 7, and Act 3 is chapters 8 through 10. And it does fit our model of the quarter, half, quarter. The story is of Nimona, her goal is to simply be herself, which is hard for her because she's a shapeshifter. The story also follows her boss, Ballister Blackheart, and his quest to take down Ambrosius Golden Lion, who's a hero of their kingdom. Golden Lion shot off Ballister's arm back in the day, which forced Ballister to leave what they call the Institute of Law Enforcement and Heroics, where they train knights. And that supports the story arc mainly of Ballister. Nimona's story arc, she starts off wanting to be the best sidekick to Ballister as possible, because Ballister starts off as our villain, and then the story turns around to where it's actually Golden Lion's the villain, and Ballister's just trying to show how corrupt the Institute can be. All the conflict in Act 2 supports the goals of both Nimona and Ballister, and there's a very clear story arc. The resolution left me wondering what would be coming next, so it wasn't completed to me, but it wasn't a cliffhanger either. There are very well-established and effective transitions, and Stevenson does well to make them very, very effective. One that stuck out to me was back in Chapter 2, on page 2, and at that point, Ballister has plans for the kingdom, or to attack the kingdom, and Nimona's going off about wanting to kidnap the king, kill the king, let Ballister take over. And he's telling her that's not how he works. There are rules. And him supposedly being evil, she says to him, what rules? There are no rules. You're not supposed to follow rules. Let me kill Golden Lion at least. And his exact words to her are, no one will kill Golden Lion but me. And in the panel, you can see him having this evil look on his face, and go right into this next panel, and he's smiling about it. And that to me was a very well done transition, where you're looking at it going, really? Okay, this guy's nuts. The character arcs, as I said, were very strong, and they stick out. They support the storyline well. I would recommend this to people, to my classmates and my friends, being Stevenson blends sci-fi and fantasy, so a lot of people I know, and especially a lot of people in our class, just from what they've picked overall this month, I think everybody would enjoy it. Oh, also, yes, speaking of transitions, McLeod's idea of transitions does work well in Nimona, but the page is a mini-comic idea. It could work, but I think it would leave a lot of cliffhangers, and a lot of people wouldn't stand for that. But to me, I could see it as a mini comic. Other than that, the fun fact for this story, Stevenson wanted to create a not-so-typical female lead, and so Nimona comes in as a chunky, well-rounded person on the cover, and come to find out that Noelle Stevenson wanted to make Nimona look as butch as possible, so I found that hilarious. And also the fact that, I think it's a fun fact, that Fox Animation, it has a release date set for 2020 for Nimona the movie. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I hope you guys enjoy Nimona as well if you do ever decide to try reading it or watch the movie. Well, it's been real. Have a good night.